Welcome to this session where we're going to develop our thinking around the change curves. You may remember, if you've looked at the other videos, that we looked at the Kubler-Ross change curve, a little simpler but having some good structure to it, and then we looked at the Fisher model, which has a few more options, but he also suggested that we would go through all of those elements in sequence rather than just pick and choose. So, recognizing the two models, what might we be doing to help people through the process? So I've already started and said, look, there's something going on in terms of leadership, and that leadership is probably creating a vision of the future. So let's call this vision of the future. This is their vision. This is what they think the organization should be looking like, and this is what's going to create the change. Yeah, so this is going to be the change. And so of course they're going to announce this to everybody, and yay, here's some element of excitement perhaps. But then it's not really going to be like that for each of the individuals. And what I want you to think about is that at the end of the process, I have to have got to some end point, right? And this is my unique envisioned future. What I'm saying here is that this is all very well, but until I can personally see the future as it's likely to be and see myself in that future, then I'm going to be somewhat stuck. And what we need to do is find ways of unsticking each person as they try and get to recognize their unique envisioned future, and that they can work comfortably towards it without some of the issues that are going on around here. So, two specific thoughts. We need to have conversations. And those conversations are going to take us from one side to the other. They're not going to be a one-off. They're not going to be, oh, we better have a conversation at some point. These are going to be regular conversations between the supervisor and their direct report, between a colleague and another colleague, between the project team and those who are affected by it, between the senior management and everybody else in the organization. There are going to be conversations. But if we stick with the particular one where the most support I'm going to be looking for is from my supervisor, how is that going to work? Well, those conversations, we might say, well, they're going to be coaching conversations. So that's going to be pretty good, one-on-one. But before we have a coaching conversation, there needs to be some element of trust. You see, do I actually trust my boss? So that when I'm having conversations, do I feel that they're open and honest? And if they're not, what's the point of having the conversation? And how on earth will I move my way through if I don't have those meaningful conversations? So there's got to be some element there, and you might almost say that this trust won't come unless we have some strong relationship. So strong relationship built on trust, coaching, transparent, honest conversations, and they will move me hopefully towards recognizing what my envisioned future is and that it's one that I actually want to have. Now, on the other hand, we might want to think about collaboration. So, collaboration. Again, it's part of that process. And what we know is that the more people are involved in the process of change, the more they are aligned with it, engaged with it, and move more quickly into the finished product. So what we could be thinking about here is, what kind of journey do we want people to have from this point through to this point that allows individuals to participate in the change? Now, this doesn't change. No one's going to involve the whole company and say, we're wondering about a change, what do you think? We've got to leave senior management to come up with that big change. But once it starts to cascade through the organization, it's perfectly legitimate for a team leader, a manager, to get their team together and say, this is the objective we've got to deliver. How are we going to go about this? And involving the whole team in that process. And that's what I would call the collaboration. We're going to work together. And in working together, we hopefully have some element of engagement with the process, which will then move us comfortably into me delivering my unique envisioned future and turning it into reality. So there's two elements that we need to think about very carefully in helping people through the change curve. How do we have meaningful and open conversations? How do we encourage collaboration? Because each of those contributes to each individual identifying this, identifying the journey there, and turning that into a reality.